The very first story trending on Twitter right now, the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, had a meeting with members of the All Progressives Congress, APC, yesterday. He recounted how he nominated Professor Yemi Osinbajo as President Muhammadu Buhari's running mate in 2015. He said Buhari had already given up his presidential ambition because he had failed with every other person he picked as running mate in earlier attempts. He said, and I quote, "But I went to his home in Katsina. I told him you will contest and win, but you won't joke with the matters of the Yorubas. Since he has emerged, I have not been appointed minister. I didn't get any contract. This time, it's Yoruba turn, and in Yoruba land, it's my tenure." He also said that Buhari had offered him a running mate ticket, but some blocs opposed the move, citing the danger of having two Muslims as the party's candidates in the January elections, and that's how he nominated Yemi Osinbajo as Buhari's running mate in 2014. Tinubu also declared that the Ogun State governor, Dapo Abiodun, would not have emerged in the 2019 election without his support. He said, and I quote, "If he wants to meet God at the right place, he must know that without God and me, he would not have become governor." And now to comments, Nefertiti says, "For your information, Bubu is a clever man. He has shown he is 10 steps ahead of the self-proclaimed Asiwaju of Yoruba land. APC primary can still go ahead, but APC governors will do Buhari's bidding. They control their delegates. Tinubu will empty his pockets, but he will lose." And Moshood Abiola says, "If we don't talk about it, it's not like we don't know it. Asiwaju Tinubu is a major stakeholder in the APC, but he's working like an ordinary member. It's worth it if he wants to be imposed because he has a large share too. But he isn't an imposter. Bola is kind." Z Samuel says, "Is presidency a virtue of godfatherism now? This is not state or tribal stuff. What is his mandate? Let him present it and stop talking about who he made king. I know the SWA go feel the impact. We want mandates that are feasible." Now, Samson and Margaret, I don't know, but really, as this other guy said,
it's not from the southwest.
Yeah, I was
feel the mandate.
Don't forget, it was what we talked about earlier in the show. Godfatherism. Is it really? Well, does he really need to be president?
Because you're a godfather, does that make
you're a kingmaker?
You're a kingmaker, yeah. So do you necessarily have to be a king because you're a kingmaker?
I am not opposing anybody who wants to be king. I've always made this instance in the Igbo faction where I happen to be from. Kingmakers are never kings, actually. They make kings. They're the ones who put the crown on the heads of kings. That's an instance. So they can't put the crown on their head. There has to be another king. And kingmakers are normally not king. From my Igbo tribe now, but then whether he's a citizen of Nigeria, he has the right to want to be president. But because if you want to be president, it's fine, but using that as
he feels
something
entitled,
to hold on
to,
it feels like, listening to the comments of Nigerians on Twitter, it feels like he thinks he's right. He thinks it's an entitlement. Anybody can become. You can decide you're above 18. You can decide to run for president. But when you start feeling entitled to it, are you the people's choice? I think that should be the most important question you should be asking yourself, and not saying I made this now, I should be. Nigeria is nobody's own as much as it's everybody's own. Anybody can be. If the people do not want you, trying to say because I did this, I made it there, I should be. You can't control people's choices. Not now, not ever.
I think it's apt. Yes, he cited instances of those he has helped to attain certain elective positions, but there's also a sense of entitlement which so many Nigerians have pointed out to. When he said it's the turn of the Yorubas, and as a result, it's his turn. I mean, the fact. Let's even assume that yes, it's true that it is the turn of the Yorubas. What makes him think it's his turn? I mean, there are several Yorubas, within the field that are also contesting for the same position. The governor of Ekiti State, Fayemi, is from Yoruba land. You have the VP as well. Again, let's not even attribute tribe to it. You have people, as long as they are citizens of the nation, they meet all the requirements by the law.
Yeah.
Then they have every right to contest for a position. I understand the frustration too, from one angle, especially the political game. You can understand where that frustration is coming from. Oh, we had an agreement, there was a compromise, and along the line you now shift grounds. It's normal to feel that way. At the end of the day, here's what I would just have to say. it's quite unfortunate what's happening, is happening to him from his own perspective. But we should allow due process. Let the APC primaries even play out. I understand, yes, the president wants to call the shot. Now, it depends on who the governors decide to pick. They've not made their choice. They will make a choice today. We hear, and when they make a choice, we'll now know if the president will go with them.
All right. And away from that, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has confirmed the release of Mr. Ahmed Idris, the suspended Accountant General of the Federation, from its custody. Mr. Wilson Uwujaren, the head of media and public affairs of the commission, told the news agency of Nigeria on Thursday in Abuja that Idris was released after meeting his bail conditions, but that he had no idea what the bail conditions were. Ahmed Idris was arrested on May 16th by the EFCC over alleged diversion and laundering of 80 billion naira. The EFCC said verified intelligence reports showed that Idris raked up the funds through bogus consultancies and other illegal activities using proxies, family members, and close associates. The commission said the funds were laundered through real estate investments in Kano and Abuja. Taking just one comment for the sake of time, Manu, who says, "Wonderful. They are praising him and congratulating him for his ill-gotten wealth." Bakan Muda Aziki. I don't know what that means. So last week, we also had Okorocha. He was, arrested because of about 2.9 billion naira. And then he was released this week
on Tuesday.
500 million. Now he was accused of stealing how much? 2.9 billion, and he was released for 500
Well, it's on
million.
the case is still on though.
So shelters, you didn't include that. Again, I understand how huge sum of amounts of money are you always peddled around for bail conditions, among others. Sometimes you have issues of landed properties, two shorties, and all of that. Again, it's just part of the process. The law says he's innocent until proven guilty. All of these allegations. Let the due process, go through in terms of.
But most times we don't see these guys coming back. We don't see them actually prosecuting them.
Well,
when they jump bail, they jump bail.
You had former governors imprisoned until they got presidential pardon. So let's see how the process plays out. We understand here that the criminal justice system sometimes can be frustrating because it takes years to, solve a case. But the truth is, we hope justice prevails at the end of the day. He's still innocent. All of these accusations. If EFCC have watertight case, they should get down to the court and let the process play out there.
Well, the case is still in court, so I wouldn't want to say so much about it. On innocent until proven guilty, that's been the case of the Nigerian judicial system, and we always normal. Well, I think that's all we can take on social media buzz this morning. Thank you so much, Shoma, for that. Well, that's been an amazing show we've had there. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a lot to talk about, but for the want of time, we'll just wrap up right now and leaving you with a quote from Chris Crosser that says, "Opportunities don't happen, you create them." So in a nutshell, I'll just get Samson and Choma's thoughts on the quote for the day. Samson, starting with you.
It's simple. Opportunities won't come your way until you place yourself in a position for them to come. And placing yourself in such positions means you create them. You do the work, then the luck or your favor, comes.
And it's very essential that you're also ready or prepared for such opportunities.
When it comes,
so it doesn't meet you unprepared, and then you miss it. As they say, opportunity comes but once.
Well, sometimes twice.
That's been amazing show. Hi, thank you so much, amazing viewer. Without you, there is no iBrandTV. To the production crew, we appreciate you. Thank you. Please do well to join us next time on Monday, same time, same station. And after now, iBrandTV has more interesting shows for your viewing pleasure. I am Margaret Obara. Have an amazing weekend.
And I am Chioma Amaribulam. Have a very nice weekend.
So have a great day. I'm Samson Olede.